What's up, you guys? This is Chris Rukov for Hand of the Week. Today we see another hand. It's gonna be 5-0 from what I can tell. I have not seen the hand yet. All the information I have from this YouTube viewer is that the opponent here has Ace Jack, Ace Queen, Jacks or Queens, and he says I don't know if I should check the turn. Now this is another replayer from Run It Up, so if you wonder how to send me a hand, you can just go there and upload a hand there. Raise to 12 cents, cool. You got a 3-bet. I do not mind to see a 4-bet here, since we got offsuit Ace King. I would maybe call for the most part with Ace King suited. Even on those macro stakes, I highly advise you to just stack the Ace King. Screw it. It's not that big of a deal. There's always that big question, oh, should I, or should I not? Just stack it off, who cares, it's 5-0, just stack it off for a while and see how it goes, and maybe you're gonna learn that you should not stack off Ace King from early position when someone 3-bets you from the big blind. You should stack it off when you're from the stealing position against the blinds, because the ranges are wider. I think I mentioned that in the previous video from last week. Call is not bad, but I want to see more flopability into the hand. The only reason why I'm gonna stack off Ace King suited is because it's a stronger hand. The only reason I'm gonna stack off Ace King offsuit is because it's a slightly weaker hand and does not have as good as flopability as Ace King suited. This is why I'm gonna opt to call with Ace King suited versus Ace King offsuit. This is a big 3-bet. Notice that we do not open to 15 cents, and he does it. He 3-bets more than 45 or 48 cents. So he just not only clicked the pot, but he actually clicked more than the pot. Now I have mixed feelings about 3-betting out of position to a big sizing, because we have to play out of position the whole hand and we'll play in a bigger pot, which I don't know about you, but I want to play bigger pots when I'm in position, not out of it. So with that said, let's see. All right, he does 4-bet, which is great. Sizing can be a little bit more. I saw that's the same person. I saw you do the same sizing of a 115 as a 4-bet in a deep stack pot last time. Here you're a little bit deep-ish. You're 140 big blinds. That does not change what I said already that much. 140 is still a little bit on the bigger side, but I think there's not much room to maneuver for me to say, oh no, I definitely think you should call that now. I think it's still, you know, a race. I would like to see 125, maybe 135, since the sizing is bigger, so you can do the SPR a little bit better. SPR, the stack to pot ratio. He calls up. He still have aces, kings, queens. I don't know about ace king and ace queen. I'm not sure if he's gonna have those. I'm thinking he might be going with ace king, because people generally do not know what's going on and don't know what to do with those hands. Ace Queen maybe is the same story. He doesn't know how to fold it. I don't know about Ace Jack. I don't know if he's that weak, but maybe. He checks. Now here's a good opportunity for us to check back. It is the board is easy. I mean the pot is big enough to basically get the money in 2 streets. Nah, not really, unless he raises, or if we bet like maybe 150 on the turn, and then yeah, it's gonna be hard to get all the money in. You should not always play for stacks though, but yeah, it's not a bad idea to check back and see what he does, because if we bet here, let's say we bet 130 or whatever, 115 or even 95 cents, depending on what strategy you're using, that might open us to a check raise. Then we gotta have a problem, and I'll have to advise you to toss that. 77 cents, okay, he does the down betting strategy. He calls. Check back, that's good. I was just gonna advise you to do that here and do some pot control. Now the river is gonna be dangerous, because if we check the turn, then we have to call the river because we allow him to bluff. But we do not really beat much at this point. If he has aces, they're there. It's one combo. I know it's so many reduced combos. Ace Queen, Ace Jack came in. Pocket Queens, I'm not super sure, maybe. But had you bet a better sizing here, maybe bet 125, maybe he was gonna fold with the queens, although we do want to call with the queens, don't get me wrong, but the bigger the sizing would define his range more. Check back here is perfect. I do not disagree if you bet here as well. Since you bet 77 cents, you can bet $1.77, and then if he raises, it's an easy fold. And if you bet and he calls, it's easier to check back river if he checks. And if he leads out, you know you're beat. So considering that I see the checking back and the betting here kind of a 50-50, after reminiscing a little bit about it, I think I like the betting here better. The reason is we have more control. Again, if we check here, the river he's gonna bet most likely, let's see, yeah. And we're facing this problem. Now what do we do? Now had we bet here, if we bet $1.77 and he calls, we see a river, he checks, we check back. Or he bets, he leads out on the river, we just fold. If we bet here $1.77 and he raises all in, we simply fold. So for $1.77 we solve our problem. Yes, if your plan is to fold on the river with that check back, but it doesn't make sense. If you check back here, you kind of basically telling him, hey, I'm allowing you to bluff, and then when he does, you need to bluff catch. The whole point of checking here is so you can allow his bluff hands to, maybe he got like pocket tens, I don't know, to allow him to bluff you with that check back. And if you're checking here and you're folding the river, that check is kind of, I'm not sure why you're doing it. You know what I mean? Maybe you do it because you don't know what else to do, and then, oh, I'll figure it out on the river. Have a plan for the hand. So to avoid, I just want to reiterate, so to avoid this, I'm thinking bet here, $1.77. It's kind of a half pot, a little bit less than half pot, and see what he does. If he calls, most likely he's gonna check the river, you check back. If he bets the river, you fold. If he check raises you here, you fold. And that's it. You don't need to solve this equation. Because now this equation, I mean, I know you gotta fold, but just because you check the turn, that widened his, you know, bluffs, basically. If he had anything that was a draw that missed, for example, pocket tens, now he's bluffing you with the tens. I don't know if he's that sophisticated. He will not surprise me if he shows with something stupid that is like a flush draw, but again, this is just because it's 5NL. But with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. I always try to say it in the middle of the content, but I always forget because I get tuned into the hand. So give that video a thumbs up, please, guys. Subscribe. I see a lot of people that watch the videos are not subscribers. Please make sure you fix that and support the channel. And let's see the result, because I'm pretty sure you're eager to see what happens. Okay, he folds. You did save $1.77 that I would have lost, most likely on the turn. But considering his range, not his hand that he has right now, but his range of hands that he has, I like to see, you know, bet $1.77 here, and then fold accordingly or check back accordingly on the river. Alright guys, that's it for today. I'll see you next week.